I made my first visit to Albania in January 2023. I was hired by the country office of UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, to work with colleagues from the University of Tirana on a research project. For half a century after World War II, Albania was ruled by a communist regime so paranoid that its leaders believed that even the Soviet Union and China had sold out. On my first weekend in the capital city Tirana, I took a walking tour of the downtown area. Albania doesn't get many tourists in January, so I was the only person on the Saturday morning tour. This essay is entitled Albania's Bunker Mentality. There are a total of 173,731 bunkers, and the average cost was $1,000. As usual, my Tirana city tour guide, Eri Jikola, a 31-year-old history graduate, had the statistics at his fingertips. "That seems awfully precise. Has anyone actually counted them?" I asked. Eri allowed that it was an official statistic and that no one knew exactly. One of the city's museums, itself housed in an underground bunker, more cautiously puts the number at around 175,000. We were standing in a park in the upscale residential area of Bloku, where the Communist Party elite, including its leader, Enver Hoxha, once lived. Today it's a lively area of shops, bars, restaurants and nightclubs. We were looking at a small, shallow concrete bunker, where two soldiers could shelter from bombs and shells and crouch to shoot at the Americans, the Russians, or whoever happened to be invading the socialist paradise. Bunkers were constructed all over the country. They ranged in size and depth, from simple ones like this to the elaborate nuclear shelter of the Ministry of Internal Affairs, which now houses a museum depicting the history of Albania's police force and its notorious secret police, the Sigurimi. It has 4 corridors, at least 50 rooms, and a heating, electrical and water system. But like the simple one, it was never used, because in the communist era no one bothered to invade Albania. "Who did they think was coming?" I asked Eri. "They were worried about the Americans, of course, but mostly they feared the Soviet Union," he said. During the Khrushchev era in the 1960s, Albania had broken away from the Soviet Union to ally with China. Hoxha refused to reimburse Moscow for all the military hardware it had sent since the end of World War II. I guess he feared that the Soviets would send in the repo squad. Near the bunker stands a series of poles and roof beams that once reinforced the tunnel of a copper mine. It was brought to the park from one of the labour camps where the regime sent political prisoners, dissidents and common criminals to work in appalling conditions. And, in a symbol to the fall of communism, there's a section of the Berlin Wall, a present from the newly unified Germany. We asked if we could send them some bunkers as a return gift, but they said they already had enough in East Germany, said Eri. I wasn't sure if he was joking.